going to be making a crochet thong bookmark. For materials, you're going to need a weight for yarn, probably around 30 grams. Then you need a crochet hook. I'm going to be using a 3.5mm hook and scissors. To begin, we're going to start by making a slip knot. And then we are going to be making a chain long enough to go all the way around the book. And you want this number to be a multiple of 8, so I'm going to be chaining 64. So once you're done making your chain, we're going to be making a slip stitch into the first chain. So you want to make sure there's no twists or anything, and making sure that this side is faced out. And you're going to insert your hook through both loops and make a slip stitch. And it's okay if there's some room in there. So once you are sure that you have the right size, you're going to tighten that knot down and then chain 2. So now in the second chain from the hook, we're going to be making 5 double crochets. So you're going to insert through both loops and just make 5 double crochets. Once you have your 5, you're going to be skipping a stitch and then going into the second one and making a slip stitch. Then skip another stitch and go into the second one with your 5 double crochets. Once you're done, you should see your chain 2 that we made at the start of the round. You're going to want to slip stitch into the second chain. And then go ahead and cut your yarn. So I have a total of 16 groups. To find out what number you should have, take the number of chains that you made. So for me that was 64, and divide that by 4. So that should equal 16 if you did the same as me, and then go ahead and count to make sure that that number is the same. And then this is kind of an optional step, but this is where I just cut my yarn. And what I like to do is just put my hook through some of these loops and pull that end down just to make it come down a little closer here. So now we're going to be working on the triangles, so you're going to want to pick up your yarn and make a slip stitch and then attach it. I like to attach mine 2 spaces away from these ends because I will be crocheting over them. So I'm going to go into the end of this little group. And these aren't actual stitches, which is fine, just go through one loop. So I'm going to attach my yarn. And then to start this row, chain 1. And then we are going to be making 1 single crochet into each stitch, I guess. And I do this for the length of 4, and you want this number to be even. So I'm going to be crocheting over these ends as I go. So this will be the first stitch. Insert my hook and make a single crochet. so I just reached the end of my row, and you can see I made it for the length of 4 of these, and I have a total of 16 single crochets. So now we're going to be chaining 2 to start our next row. Turn your work, and we're going to start by making a double crochet decrease. So going through both loops, going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2. So now you should have 3, and you're going to yarn over and pull through all of those. And for the rest of the row, we're going to be making double crochets all the way down until we have 2 stitches left. Alright, you can see I have 2 stitches left, so we're going to make another double crochet decrease. And then chain 2 and turn. And we're basically going to be repeating this process until we get to the point. So you're going to start and end with a double crochet decrease and then do double crochets in the middle. So again, start with a decrease, and then continue with double crochets. Okay, so I have my last 2 stitches remaining, so I'm going to make my last decrease, chain 2 and turn. And again, we're just going to be repeating that same process. Alright, so now we're going to be making a chain. You basically want this chain to be long enough to go towards the end of your book. So it should look like that. So for me, I'm going to chain 10. And then once you have your chain 1 more for your turning chain, and then we're going to be making a double crochet into the second stitch. So we're basically making the smaller triangle, so instead of decreases we're going to be increasing in these stitches. So chain 2 and turn, and then you're going to make an increase, so 2 double crochets into that 1 stitch. Chain 2 and turn. So now you should have 2 stitches, so we're going to be making an increase in both of those for a total of 4. And I'm going to be continuing this until I have a total of 8 double crochets. Alright, so I now have my 8 double crochets. So now you want to find the 2 center lace groups. So just kind of count until you reach those 2 right here. And you can put stitch markers there if you want. And then you basically want to make sure nothing is twisted, because we're going to be slip stitching these 2 pieces together. I'm going to start by inserting my hook into the end of those 2. And then go ahead and place this loop back on your hook and line these up. And just slip stitch. So you should only have 1 on your hook from the lace group, and then go ahead and go through both of those loops on the smaller triangle. Once you're done slip stitching, go ahead and tie off your yarn. Like so. Alright, so this will obviously be the inside of the book thong. So now to finish it, all you need to do is weave in any ends. And there you go. If you want, you can add a bow. That's usually what I like to do. It's pretty simple. You just make a bow and you can hot glue it on, or you can sew it, either way. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please comment them down below and I will do my best to answer them. Bye guys!